What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but I want to talk about Pirates 6 and the Margot Robbie movie and just kind of voice my frustration at the lack of info, pretty much, of these two movies now that we are approaching halfway in 2021. Now, we're not there yet, obviously, and there's many, many more months of, and maybe that's a good thing to some, maybe that's a bad thing to others, but there's still many, many more months left of 2021, and we have had nothing about Pirates 6, nothing about Margot Robbie. Now, I have some theories, and I've even said this on Twitter, and we've talked about this a little bit, even in past videos, talking about like Johnny Depp's court case. And I really think that as these months continue to go on, like, unless they tell me, like, not just, I'm not that important, unless they tell anybody, right, or all of us, that this isn't impacting anything in terms like Johnny Depp's court case impacting Pirates, I'm going to believe that it is. I truly, truly will, because I can't imagine that they haven't said a single word about either of these projects at all. And I get it. The Margot Robbie one is still relatively new, but I mean, at this point, like, we're approaching around, not exactly a year, but like we're gonna get there of knowing that the Margot Robbie one like exists. So like there's nothing that's happened there whatsoever. And now I get it. Like, you have to put everything together. Just because you have the writer and just, I guess, writer, director, and star, main lead, just because you have that doesn't mean the movie's like ready to film tomorrow. But like, I just would imagine there'd be something on these films by now. And then the Pirates 6 one. So I guess in case people don't know, remember, as of right now, we know there's two Pirates things going on. They're both equally as confusing. You can even say they're both equally as rage-inducing as each other, right? Because they're both kind of stupid in their own way. You have the Margot Robbie one, which I've said before, I'm not literally opposed to it just on the principle of it happening. I'm not. I actually think that to creating a universe, it is wise to do things. I don't think making a female only film just to do it really makes all that much sense. I think that's kind of a certain word that they would say against us, because if you had an all-male thing, wouldn't you say the same thing about that? So like there's some political things in there for sure, but also just the fact, obviously, you'll have people that say no Johnny Depp, no sir, or no ma'am, right? Like, that's not gonna happen. But like, I like Margot Robbie. I like the idea of more Pirates things to expand the universe. Like, I have no problem with that. It's just how, I guess, they've handled it, what Margot Robbie has talked about in regards to the movie. Again, making it be like, this is the first time we're going to see powerful women in the Pirates universe, which is absolutely laughable, because we've seen it literally every single time. So it's almost like they haven't watched the movies, which, again, wouldn't surprise me, because that's what these Hollywood people do, is they come up with ideas assuming they've never seen it before, and they run it into the ground. So you have that, and then you also have this other Pirates movie, which is a lot more confusing, because you have Jerry Bruckheimer attached. Now, technically, he is attached to the Margot Robbie one as well, but this one definitely seems like, and even got the original writers from 1 through 3, this one seems like it would have been, or it still could be, this is where the confusing part comes in, Pirates 6. Like, if they were going to end the franchise with Johnny Depp, with Jack Sparrow, this is how, and this is where they would do it. But yet again, then we've heard things thrown around like reboot and like completely starting over. But then we've heard Margot Robbie's one is a spin-off, but not necessarily a reboot. So like, there's been so many conflicting things. But this one, which we'll just call like the Jerry Bruckheimer project for now, this one has been dark for like forever. Yeah, also got the Chernobyl director being the one who will direct. So like, they have the writer. So this one's a little bit different. They don't have a cast whatsoever, but they do have a writer, they have the producer, and they have the director. Okay, so they have everybody to make the movie besides the actual talent like on screen. But that one has been dark for years. Remember, we've heard before that it almost sounds like they're waiting on Johnny Depp because they don't know. Jerry Bruckheimer said it before. We don't know how much we'd be able to use him, right? We don't know if he'd be able to be in the film at all. So, like, there's been that talk throughout years, and we're still left with nothing. So that's where we're at. And that's kind of just a summary. I know a lot of you guys that have watched the channel for half a decade at this point, you guys are well on the money with all this stuff, but for people that don't know. But here's the deal. Here's where we are now, or here's my theory, is Johnny Depp's got to be, and this is a good, I'm not saying like, oh my God, he's so evil, like he's holding these back. He's got to be the reason, in my opinion. Again, unless we're told otherwise, and it's really like proven to me, because even if they tell us, I'll just probably believe they're lying. I really think he's holding them back in the way that like they're probably waiting for the final court case, right? The U.S. court case to be over, or maybe just some sort of I don't even know, some sort of okay from Disney. I mean, look, we all probably assume that like that U.S. court case is like one of the final blows or one of the final like good things that can happen. But you also have like it is possible that behind the scenes we have heard rumors that you could believe or not believe, but that Disney may already have been talking to him about bringing him back. So like it's very possible that maybe they are working on something very, very quietly behind the scenes, and they just don't want to say anything yet until kind of like the time is right. But like they have public, I guess their public opinion on their side. Okay, the public is with Johnny Depp. They're very much against Amber Heard. Like if you're gonna do it, I mean, look, the U.S. court case is not gonna change, I would say, many people's minds. I mean, yeah, we have like new stuff that sometimes comes out that I do think maybe sways some people, but the people that are so hardcore on Amber Heard's side or like can't stand Johnny Depp, they're never gonna be on the side. And also, by the way, they're probably for the most part poor, and they don't or they don't watch the movies in the first place. That's probably the more likely one. And so, why do you want people that probably won't support your movie in the first place, or maybe have never supported it and never will? Why would you want them? Why would you wait for them to come over to your side? Okay, so in my opinion, I really do think that. I think that either they're doing something very quietly behind the scenes with Johnny Depp, or they're waiting for 2022, which means and I think that is very much that Jerry Bruckheimer one, that Pirates 6 or the Pirates reboot, like the really big one. That one I think is very much tied to Johnny Depp, where they're not going to make a move. They may not announce. And now I could be, hopefully, by the way, maybe not hopefully, but maybe I'll be proven wrong like tomorrow. Hopefully there's some sort of like God out there that just wants to smite me, and they're saying, okay, well, you said this, so literally tomorrow now we're going to announce something on this Pirates 6. But, I do think that movie is very much tied. And the Margot Robbie one, I also think it's kind of tied, because when that movie was announced, it very much sounded like, and again, things have changed, but it sounded like when it was announced that like it would probably come after this Pirates reboot / Pirates 6, that this would kind of be what they do afterwards. And now maybe, and we've talked about it, maybe they could introduce Margot Robbie's character in that movie, in that Pirates 6. I think that would actually kind of be a cool thing and would make sense. And it would honestly, again, like even for people that don't like the idea just because they don't like it, I do think it's a good idea to get her character out there, make her a little bit likable, right? So that we don't have to immediately like her in the beginning of her own movie. But also, if you can interact her, you can, I guess, have like conversations with like her and Jack or something. Anything that would just make her a little bit more, not that Margot Robbie is non-likable, because she's definitely not. She is likable. But like, I don't know, like people are going to go into that movie very negative, okay? So to make her character just a little bit more likable, connecting her with Jack in some way would be a really smart move, in my opinion. The non-smart move would be to pretend that none of those movies ever existed and to do your own thing. That would be the stupid move, and that probably is what they'll end up doing. But again, we kind of have to wait. But I think that movie, the Margot Robbie one, is very much tied to the reboot one, or Pirates 6, where it's like they probably don't make a move until Pirates 6 makes a move, and then Pirates 6 probably doesn't make a move until Johnny Depp makes a move. You know what I mean? So like they're all in a way connected. Now remember, there was actually a notable insider, a guy who's like pretty darn right pretty often, who said there's 10 Pirates projects being worked on right now, like being talked about, being put together. So we know 2. There's 8 more. So like that's another thing too. It's like that's the thing that kind of makes me upset. It's like I do believe him because he's right like very, very often. So like I do think he knows what he's talking about. So like we have these 2 things that are exciting in their own way, not necessarily because they'll be good or even like have Johnny Depp in them or whatever, just they're exciting in the fact that they kind of exist. But then we also have 8 other things that we also have zero clue. Could be Disney Plus shows, could be Broadway. I mean, it could be Broadway, it could be whatever. You have all of this stuff, okay? And that's not being talked about. And even the 2 things we do know about are so radio silent it hurts. It actually is so quiet that it hurts my ears, okay? And that's kind of where we're at. So I am annoyed. I get, by the way, I didn't even mention this, like the stuff around the world over the last year. Like I'm sure that slowed things down to some extent, but really, I don't know. I don't really think we're at the point with either of those movies where it would have been hurt. Because like I said, it really, to me, seems like they're in the planning phase of like getting the people together, getting the crew together, getting the full cast together, making sure the story and like is fully written, right? And then you film. And yeah, the filming would have been pushed back, but you can do storyboard concepts. You can assemble a team and get your budgets in order. You can do all, unless money changes, right? But you can do all that from home. You can do all that from across the world through Zoom and through all that stuff, right? So like you could have done that over the past year. So again, it's the same question. Like, why are we still, it's seemingly at a very early like pre-production phase, it seems like. Why are we still there? Why aren't we at the phase where we start to announce like, okay, it's legit? And because they are legit, but they haven't really been talked about. And why aren't we at the filming? Why aren't we at the, okay, here's maybe a couple of other cast members for Margot Robbie, here's like anybody for the Pirates 6 one, right? But again, if they're waiting for Jack Sparrow, if they're waiting for Johnny Depp, then maybe they don't say anything. Because if they announce a brand new lead for that Pirates 6, it's pretty much like the final nail where it's like, okay, they've decided that Johnny Depp is not the main star. Even if Jack's not the main character in all of these, because he's definitely not, he is like the first name that you'd probably say out loud that's returning. So if they say somebody else's name for this Jerry Bruckheimer big Pirates movie, then that's like, okay, they've decided. And so actually maybe it's a good thing they haven't talked, right? Because the hope can still live while they haven't said anything. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? Are you getting annoyed at it? Do you not care whatsoever? I mean, I know there's people that just say, you know, Jack or no Jack, or Johnny or no Johnny. I get that. I also just want news for these seemingly 10 Pirates projects that we have zero info on. So let me know what you guys think. Again, if you guys did like this video, make sure to give it a like. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, all that good stuff. Hopefully you guys liked this kind of video. I've been sitting on this idea for a little bit, and I really loved recording it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.